The human body, a source of endless fascination, often sparks curiosity about its diverse changes and characteristics. Among these is a persistent notion, a shadowed belief that variations in the color of one's genital skin are somehow linked to their sexual history. This idea, often whispered or found in online misinformation, suggests that darker genital pigmentation, particularly in women, indicates greater sexual experience, while lighter skin implies the opposite. This report aims to illuminate this pervasive myth, dissecting it with scientific evidence and fostering a more accurate and body-positive understanding of human anatomy. Addressing such misconceptions is crucial, as they can lead to unnecessary anxiety, self-consciousness, and harmful judgments based on natural biological variations. The myth that genital pigmentation reliably indicates sexual experience is widespread and deeply ingrained in some cultural narratives. This false belief often manifests as the idea that darker skin in the vaginal area signifies a woman has had more sexual partners or has engaged in sexual activity. Conversely, some mistakenly assume that lighter pigmentation indicates a lack of sexual experience. However, scientific evidence unequivocally refutes this claim. Research clearly demonstrates that sexual intercourse, being sexually active, or even masturbation has no direct impact on the pigmentation or size of the labia. Furthermore, variations in the color of the vaginal area are common among women of all complexions and are not inherently indicative of any specific sexual history. Personal accounts also contradict this myth. For instance, one individual reported having naturally darker labia from a young age despite having no prior sexual partners. Therefore, it is crucial to understand that assessing someone's sexual past based on the color of their genital skin is not only inaccurate, but also deeply problematic, and can lead to unfair and damaging assumptions. The color of the vulva encompassing the labia majora, labia minora, clitoris, and surrounding skin naturally varies significantly from person to person. This diversity in appearance is as normal and expected as the differences in eye color, hair texture, or even the subtle variations in skin tone across different parts of an individual's body. Just as the skin on the arms might differ slightly in shade from the skin on the face, the pigmentation in the genital area can naturally differ from the skin on other parts of the body. It is quite common and entirely normal for individuals to have pigmented labia, and the specific shade can range across a wide spectrum. This phenomenon is often referred to as intimate hyperpigmentation, where the skin in the genital, anal, and surrounding regions tends to be darker than the skin elsewhere on the body. This variation is influenced by a multitude of factors, including an individual's inherent skin tone, highlighting that a range of colors is simply part of the natural human experience. Even within an individual, the color of the vulva can exhibit temporary changes due to factors like increased blood flow during sexual arousal, which can cause the area to appear more purplish. The hymen, another part of the female genitalia, also presents in a variety of shapes, sizes, and colors, further emphasizing the natural diversity of this anatomical region. Understanding this inherent variability is key to dismantling the myth that specific genital colors are linked to sexual activity. While sexual activity holds no influence over genital pigmentation, several other biological and environmental factors play a significant role in determining the color of the vulva. Hormonal fluctuations throughout a woman's life are a primary driver of changes in this area. During puberty, pregnancy, and menopause, hormonal shifts can cause the genital area to become darker. Similarly, individuals using hormonal birth control may also experience changes in pigmentation. These hormonal changes, particularly increases in estrogen and progesterone, can stimulate melanocytes, the cells responsible for producing melanin, leading to increased pigmentation. Genetics also play a fundamental role in determining an individual's baseline genital pigmentation, much like they influence overall skin tone. Inherited traits contribute significantly to the natural color of the vulva. Beyond these biological factors, physical elements can also contribute to pigmentation changes. Friction, often caused by tight or ill-fitting underwear or clothing, can lead to skin darkening in the genital area, as it can on any part of the body. This friction can stimulate melanocyte activity, resulting in hyperpigmentation. Common hair removal practices like shaving and waxing can also cause irritation and inflammation, which can trigger an anti-inflammatory response and an increase in melanin production, potentially leading to darker skin in the shaved or waxed areas. The natural aging process is another factor. Over time, hormonal shifts and years of minor trauma or irritation can contribute to the darkening of the genital area, mirroring the skin pigmentation changes observed in other parts of the body with age. Even environmental factors like a lack of ventilation in the often covered genital region, leading to moisture buildup, and the chemicals present in sweat can stimulate melanin production and cause color changes. While less directly related to the myth, certain medical conditions, such as vitiligo, can also affect genital pigmentation. It is crucial to recognize this diverse range of influences to understand that genital pigmentation is a complex biological phenomenon with multiple contributing factors, none of which include sexual intercourse or the number of sexual partners an individual has had. Similar to the misconception surrounding genital pigmentation, another unfounded myth exists regarding nipple color, suggesting that darker nipples in women indicate a higher level of sexual activity. However, just as with genital pigmentation, the primary drivers of nipple color changes are hormonal fluctuations and physiological states, not sexual behavior. During pregnancy, for instance, hormonal increases, including melanocyte-stimulating hormone, cause the nipples and areola to become more pronounced in color. Throughout a woman's life, various hormonal shifts associated with puberty, menstruation, the use of oral contraceptives, and breastfeeding can all lead to changes in nipple pigmentation. Even conditions like diabetes can be associated with darker nipples. In some cases, the presence of hairs around the nipples can also make them appear darker. While rare, a change in nipple color can sometimes be a sign of a medical condition like cancer, warranting medical consultation. The existence of this parallel myth about nipple pigmentation highlights a broader societal tendency to create unsubstantiated links between visible physical characteristics, particularly in women, and their sexual history, often stemming from societal biases rather than factual information. While the primary focus of the myth often centers on female genitalia, it is important to briefly address pigmentation in male genitalia as well. The skin color of the penis and scrotum, like that of the vulva, naturally varies among individuals. Temporary color changes can occur due to physiological responses, such as the increased blood flow during sexual arousal, which can cause the penis to appear darker, bluish, reddish, or even purplish. The baseline color of the penis, similar to other physical traits, is largely determined by an individual's genetic makeup. Just as with female genitalia, there is no scientific evidence linking the natural pigmentation of the penis or scrotum to an individual's sexual experience. Understanding that natural variation in pigmentation is a universal human characteristic applying to all genders further undermines the specific myth related to female genitalia. The myth linking genital pigmentation to sexual experience is not an isolated belief. It is deeply intertwined with historical and cultural obsessions surrounding female virginity. Throughout history, many societies have placed immense value on female virginity, often linking it to a woman's worth, her family's honor, and her marriageability. This intense cultural emphasis has fostered a climate where physical proof of virginity was sought and often mythologized. For centuries, the hymen, a thin membrane surrounding the vaginal opening, was erroneously considered a definitive marker of virginity. The belief that the hymen remains intact until broken by vaginal penetration, resulting in bleeding, led to harmful practices and severe consequences for women who did not meet these expectations. However, the anatomical reality is that the hymen varies greatly in shape and size, and it can be affected by various activities other than sexual intercourse, rendering it an unreliable indicator of virginity. The desire to find visible cues for virginity or sexual experience likely contributed to the false association of darker genital pigmentation with a loss of virginity or increased sexual activity. This misconception may have arisen from a broader societal tendency to scrutinize and interpret women's bodies for signs of sexual activity, often fueled by prejudice and a lack of accurate sex education. The historical preoccupation with controlling female sexuality created fertile ground for such myths to take root and persist, reflecting a cultural anxiety rather than a biological reality. Belief in the myth linking genital pigmentation to sexual experience can have significant negative psychological consequences. Individuals may experience unnecessary anxiety and self-consciousness about the natural color of their genitals, fearing judgment or misinterpretation by sexual partners or even medical professionals. This can lead to negative body image and a lack of confidence, particularly in intimate settings. The embarrassment associated with perceived darkening can even drive some individuals to seek potentially harmful and unnecessary cosmetic procedures aimed at lightening the skin. Research indicates that dissatisfaction with genital appearance is linked to increased self-consciousness during sexual activity and lower sexual esteem. While not directly related, the stigma associated with other pigmentation-related conditions like vitiligo, which can cause significant psychological distress, highlights the broader societal emphasis on skin appearance and the potential for negative emotional impact when one's appearance deviates from perceived norms. It is therefore crucial to dispel these myths and provide accurate, evidence-based information to promote body positivity and support individuals in feeling comfortable and accepting of their bodies, regardless of natural variations in pigmentation. In conclusion, the notion that genital pigmentation is an indicator of sexual experience is a scientifically baseless myth rooted in historical misconceptions about virginity and a lack of accurate sexual health education. The color of an individual's genital skin is determined by a complex interplay of factors, including hormones, genetics, friction, shaving or waxing practices, aging, and even environmental conditions, none of which include sexual activity as a direct cause. This natural variation is as normal and diverse as any other human characteristic. Perpetuating this myth can lead to unnecessary anxiety, self-consciousness, and harmful judgments. It is essential to embrace the diversity of human bodies and rely on scientific accuracy rather than outdated and damaging misconceptions. Promoting body positivity and self-acceptance, grounded in factual information, is crucial for fostering a healthy and informed understanding of our bodies.